Yo diddly yo, gentle folk. How are we doing? It's 2023. This is my first video of 2023 on the tubage, and it's also the first product for Train Sim Classic for 2023. Now there was, to be fair, some little scenario pack, which is a giant cash grab for some Swiss route or something like that. But this is like the true first product for 2023 for Train Sim Classic, and we got a whole lot of stuff in the pipeline, so it should be a good year for Train Sim Classic heads. But anyway, the Long Island Railroad M3, which is what we have here before us, of course, on the Long Island Railroad map, which only makes sense because this is a Long Island Railroad M3, so it's, you know, kind of need it. Anyway, that map came out last year, or route, if you will. And it's really nice. It's a damn good looking route. The signaling works well, all that. It just ran poorly. Now, they released a patch several months later, which did absolutely nothing in terms of performance. And I've heard talk that they're supposed to release another patch because they figured out what they did wrong as far as the scripting with the M7s within the Long Island Railroad add-on. But anyway, just a little bit about that. So hopefully we have that to look forward to. We'll see if this fares any better. Now, of course, I've got this plopped down in a free roam, so I can have somewhat nominal frames while I'm looking at this thing and trying to go over this thing and just having a general look at it. And as usual, my system specs, you know, I have no slouch of a PC. It's not a NASA, you know, computer either, but AMD 6700 XT, 12 GB VRAM, 5800X processor, 32 gigs memory, and it's on an SSD. So, as far as that goes with performance, Long Island Railroad, Train Sim in general, it should run stuff fairly good. Anyway, enough blabbing. Again, Long Island Railroad M3, which we have here. It's now available on the Steam store. I'll link it down below as usual. Now, if you look at the manual on the Steam store, it's modeled by Ricardo Rivera, which is Reppo, as we colloquially known him as in, you know, Train Sim history. He makes some pretty good stuff in terms of North American content. Now, he did make the what the hell was it? Jeez, I forgot. He's made some of these for the New York, New Haven route. Not these. What were they, M2s or something like that? They're different, yes, but the model is there. That, you know, they're the same shape essentially. Let's not kid ourselves. So this was done by him. Now a lot of people were wondering, you know, what that was, if it was the ported model from Train Sim World, and it is not. I think it looks a lot better than the ported model from Train Sim World, unless he got it from Dovetail and did some kind of stuff himself. But as far as the manual says, Reppo is responsible for the model and setup. Trainacat did the scripting. Now, Trainacat is one of the people that was responsible for releasing the Long Island Railroad route, which is what we're on here. And while, yes, it is a great route, I think he was responsible for the M7 and the scripting on the M7, which in turn made the route run very poorly. And like I said, from what I've heard, they're looking into that, going to try and fix it and correct it. So we'll see if he, you know, instead of fixing the M7, they thought just, hey, we'll release another EMU and just try the new scripting, you know, wizardry in that, instead of, you know, fixing something that's broken. Such is the Train Sim way, for the most part. But anyway, so he did the scripting. Ryan Reynolds took care of the audio, and then someone named Gabe L. Took care of the scenarios and you know, MTA and Long Island Railroad information and things like that. So, yeah. All right, let's take a look. All right, another angle and more talking. So this thing is $19.99, as is most add-ons for Train Sim Classic. But the M3, for those unaware, just in case, I like to cover all the bases, was built after the M1. The M1 was like the granddaddy of these things. But of course, the M3 is an electric multiple unit built by the Budd Company, operating for Metro North and Long Island Railroad. Now, we also got these for, what is it, the Hudson Line and Train Sim Classic, and the Harlem Line and Train Sim World. But those are Metro North, and they have the little doohickeys on the roof instead of, the bald ones like these. But anyway, and those are blue as well for Metro North. But in Long Island Railroad, of course. Now, they're known as Metropolitans. That's the name, their nickname for these things. The Long Island Railroad calls them M3. The Metro North Railroad calls them M3A. They are a little different, tiny bit different. But they essentially entered service in the mid-1980s, built at the Red Line Assembly Plant in Philly, Pennsylvania, and I think they built about 174 of these units. They are all paired, so you'll have a married unit, which is an A and B unit. So this is an A unit here on the front, and then a B unit here. You can see the walkway there. And then it's face-to-face again. So they'll always be in a A-B setup. So there's that. They are, of course, unique and easily recognizable due to their stainless steel outer body. You can't really tell in this, per se. It's kind of hard to tell. But that's fine. I'm not super crazy about shiny stuff and Train Sim Classic. Looking at you, DTM. But yeah, they're stainless steel, and then the front, the nose or ass caps on these are like a fiberglass, which they can be easily repaired or whatnot if needed. Yeah, they're very recognizable. Now, they were designed for 100 mile an hour, but they operate at 80, and they are, of course, 750 volt DC third rail, which runs on these right here. We're, of course, in Hillside Yard right now, just outside of Jamaica. Let's see what else. They have cab signaling and ATC, and a lot of them have the Leslie RS2M horn. I think some of them have been changed here and there, but for the most part, they have the RS2M. So anywho, enough blabbing. You're going to get 3 scenarios, quick drives as well. Let's go ahead and take a look. One of the things I'm noticing right away is whatever the hell this lighting is under here. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like that. Now, you'll have to forgive me as well. I am a more freight-oriented person. I am not a Northeast Corridor or Northeast anything commuter foamer, not by a long shot. So I will get things wrong. As far as like what lines use a 2 and 4 and 6 and 10 car and all that crap, and what number unit has a scratch under the right headlight. I don't know stuff like that. I never will. I don't care to. Just gonna try and go over the basics, if you will. So things like this, I don't rightly know, but it does look odd. Those super duper bright lights under there. It's almost like an LED. So it's kind of funky. Now, I do have it set to winter, and to be fair, when I was placing these down, I had it set to summer, but I was like, it's winter right now. We'll do a little snow on the ground, and they didn't do it in summer with no snow on the ground, so I don't know if it's something to do with winter. We'll take a look at that again later. Something else I'm noticing right off the bat is there's no lenses. It almost looks like those low poly models as far as the headlights, to increase frame rate, which is kind of funky. Like, these are the markers. They should be red. There's nothing there. The headlights in general look pretty poor. To be honest, the numbers look nice. There is a bit of weathering along the front here, but it's fairly low res. I don't know, maybe call this 2K, if that. It's it's passable. I don't want to sit here and dump all over this thing. It's passable, but for this day and age, stuff like this should definitely be crispied up a bit. The flares look okay. I have this set to low beam as of right now. When you load in, all the markers are on for whatever reason. So like the shots that you might have seen from Dovetail teasing this thing, as they like to do, had the marker lights on as it was running because somebody from the Dovetail office that knows nothing about North American trains in operation thought, hey, this picture looks cool, let's put this out there, because it doesn't look totally ridiculous that the marker lights are on with the headlights while it's in operation. So that's Dovetail for you. You do have to turn them off. You got to go in the cab and turn them off. I tried to use the K key, which is typically the marker lights key in Train Sim Classic, and that didn't do squat. And there is a great delay between the H key and headlights, so it feels like it takes quite a minute for things to happen once you press buttons here. So that's dim. That's bright there. That's dim. They look pretty good. They do look pretty good. They're not out of control. You know, if Reppo had anything to do with the headlights, he's usually okay with them. It's nothing like levels of DTM, just ghastly, you know, flares. These actually look pretty good. They don't like stick out of the front there, as you can see. Looking to the side, there's nothing there. That's how it should be. So they kind of look recessed a little bit, which is nice. They're still very bright white, which they are not in real life, because for whatever reason, when people make headlight flares for Train Sim Classic stuff, they think it needs to be just bright white, zero color for whatever reason, which is not the case. It is what it is. Okay, moving along. The front, the shell, the fiberglass bit, I mean, the model looks good. Do not get me wrong. But some of this stuff, like these bolts right here on this panel where the headlight is, you know, that doesn't look very good. The shading around it doesn't look very good either. It's just, ugh. Now, the MTA logo looks pretty nice. It's kind of funky the way it's centered on the front here, but it looks like it's placed nicely. If I recall correctly, I feel like the one that they released for Train Sim World wasn't centered right. It was like too low and off to the right. But that one looks pretty good. Like I said, numbers look pretty good. As far as I know, the number range is correct too, and there is a bit of weathering on there, but it's just, I don't know, it's very very low res looking. Down here looks all right. Got a little chain action going on there, a little 3D chain action. Coupler looks okay. I don't know. Some things are just funky here. Not totally sure. All right, let's look at the top here. You can hear the fans running there. Now the body itself looks pretty nice. It's just like, you know, as far as this stuff like this, there's a ton of bolts and rivets on this thing, you know, in real life. It's just how they're built. Sure, it might be very frame intensive, you know, having all those on here. Maybe that's why they were done in such a low form. Who knows? But it doesn't really, I mean, if you're about here, yeah, son of a gun looks good, but as soon as you get up close, yikes. It's got the Serve with Pride on there, which is correct and nice. Looks like all the decals are on there where they should be as far as on the doors and windows, watching the gap. Emergency access. The little stickers down here telling you not to get fried by 750 volts. Yeah, it looks okay. Undercarriage looks okay. The machinery down here and whatnot. But, you know, what's odd is I'm immediately thinking back to the E60, which Reppo just released in late last year, 2022. And the Amcans looked way better than this. So I'm thinking maybe this was like a back burner project that he had modeled. Then again, I don't know. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm probably spitting BS, honestly, because it says Dovetail Games when you look at the manual on the store. So I don't really know. It does say that Reppo modeled it though. So now all these cables look very nice. I did notice that as well. The connection, the cabling, MU cabling. 750 volts. So this side should be opposite from what that side, as you can see the box down there does not have the 750 volt deal. Lettering is pretty sharp. That looks nice. It looks like it should be. You know, it is exactly where it should be, if you will. Go to the back here. The markers look pretty good. They're kind of like a magenta color. Again. But, you know. It is. It's a good-looking model. When Dovetail was teasing this thing, I was thinking to myself, okay, that's a nice-looking model. But, you know, the closer you get, the muddier it becomes. But I'm certain this, you know, with all the little Northeast foamers that are within the train sim community, this thing is going to get just textures and mods out the bunghole. That is a guarantee. So I'm sure some things will be touched up. The number boards look pretty good as well. They're lit fairly nicely. They don't look 100% realistic, but they do have some fading in the light in the lens in the back there, which looks very nice versus, say, old gold DTM, which generally looks like crap. Yeah, so those look pretty nice. All right, let's hop in this son of a biscuit. Here is the interior. Doesn't look too good. The AM cans definitely looked a lot better. There's like zero shading in here. The texture just looks very dull and kind of lifeless, if you will. Yeah, this looks nothing like the one from Train Sim World, as it should not, because I don't think it's the same model. It just looks, I don't know. Like, it's okay. One could say, who gives a crap about the interior? You know, it's not about that. But then you've got stuff like Armstrong Powerhouse, which has interiors that look like the damn real thing. You know, so like, why not in other regions can we have stuff like that? But, you know, it is what it is. The lighting inside is bright as hell. There's like, I'm assuming this is what's going on with the ground, so you can see this bright-ass kind of ring of light right there, which is not emitting from anything. Definitely not the lights themselves. It's just super bright in here. It doesn't have a natural glow to it. The seats don't look very good. This almost looks like a DTM product inside, which I don't like spitting that venom on Reppo, to be honest. But the interior's not the best. Again, looking at the AM cans for the E60 pack, like, those things were mega. And then we come to this, which is kind of like, I'm starting to think something's wrong with my graphics card, maybe, or something. I'm not sure, but you can move around. You got a couple of different views. I know there's some of you that, you know, like sitting in and pretending to ride and all that, and that's cool. But as far as, you know, the way this interior looks for that kind of thing, it's, you know, I don't think it's in the best shape. Yeah, seat textures look kind of weird. I don't know, like the entrance area here looks okay, but again, that wood paneling is just extremely low res. Doesn't look super duper good. All right, let's hop in the cab. Alrighty, we are in the cabine of the M3. Can you open the door? See, I remember that was one of the things with the, what the hell was it, the M2? For New Haven? Jeez, I can't remember. Old man brain. I thought you could open the door on those, and as a matter of fact, the door would, like, swing on those, which was kind of interesting and irritating at the same time. So let's see. The cab looks okay. What I'm getting here is, this is not a 1000% Reppo product, and I think that's part of the problem in the looks department, because when he is contracted or contractually obligated to build something, he just, you know, why put extra effort into it if you don't need to? Like the AC44 that came out with the Dovetail Tehachapi. Kind of like that. Like, it's not straight up Reppo, but it's okay, I guess. The cab does look a bit better than the seating compartment, and there's our light. It's actually got a somewhat natural glow. It's kind of pink, or a nice periwinkle color. But it definitely looks better in the seating compartment, that's for damn sure. It's still a little funky, that coloring. Let's see, does the window open? Indeedly do, it does. It makes sound as well. Sounds pretty good. Sounds alright. Alright, let's check these systems back here. All I've looked at in the manual is who built this thing. So we're just gonna mess with stuff. So it's already cut in. Cab signaling is cut in, ATC is cut in, and that's it. Can't even touch the battery up there. Okay. Let's see, where's the sun visor? There's sun visors in these things. There's no sun visor. That's kind of odd. I'm not going to cry myself to sleep about it, but it's odd that there's no sun visor, if I'm honest. Unless I'm just... Oh, here it is. Okay. Alright, I'm not crying myself to sleep tonight. Awesome. That's kind of neat. It's out of the way there and not up top. I thought they were up top and they just, were brought down. But it's got an arm deal. It doesn't make any sound, but again, I could really give a damn personally. See if there's any motions. Yeah, I think that's it. It's just up and down. That's pretty cool. It's hidden out of the way there. Sneaky. Alright, let's get the lights back on. Can you do conductor style? No, key doesn't work. Which again, not a huge deal. Don't really care. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the horn now. Okay, so there's definitely some looping in there. As far as the sound itself, it's not bad. It's honestly not bad. It's got a little reverb. Like, it sounds fairly natural interior-wise, like it's rattling panels and things like that. It sounds okay. It does have a loop, though. And I can hear that pop, that like unclean sound sample kind of pop. It's very faint at the end, but a lot of stuff seems to have this nowadays. It's like a... barely hear it. Alright, let's see what it sounds like outside. Yo! Yo! Okay. That sumbitch sounds alright. My dude! Me dude! Okay, is it the same loudness at any distance? Because Jesus Christ. Now I can't even hear it. Alright, I'm just holding the space bar down and we're gonna inch forward. I'm still holding it down, by the way. So that's where it cuts out. So there's literally like zero Doppler effect. Which again, this day and age, not to just crap on it, just to do it. There should be a little bit of Doppler. And if not Doppler, just different distance channels or whatever the hell the technical term is. But the son of a banana sounds good though. It's a nice clean sample. So that sounds pretty good. All right. There's our buzzer. All right, let's see if we can get this thing going here. So key needs to be... Wait a minute. Why does it still say key out? Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. It still says key out, though. That's odd. So it needs to be in max brake, I believe. And then you charge it, yeah? Jeez, forgot how to do this. Oh, there it goes. Yep. Okay. Yep. Needle's moving. So you got to put the key in, but I think leave it and key out, and then you can charge the brakes. Right? Alright, so now it's set to forward. So you do have ATC and ACS. ES on. Let's see, what do we got up here? So that's your marker light. Which again is very strange that there's no actual, like, these lights look very bad. You know, just the bezel that houses the bulb and all that, like, it's just so paper mache 2010 looking. Let's turn those back on real quick. There we go. The color could be better as well. It's just everything looks kind of faded and washed out. It's almost like a pink color. Alright, what do we got here? Let's see. Reading lights, cab lights. So it's just cab light. There's our headlight switch. That's a nice sound on there. That's our acknowledge. Clicky clicky. And that's about it. Let's see what's over here. Nothing. Alright, let's see if we can get out of here. Get them up out of here. Alright, we'll get over on the main. The main ski. Jeez, I just loaded in a thing here. A free roam to look at it without the frames melting my computer. Alright, we'll just try this for now and see what happens. Alright, let us go. Alright, they have got that very unique brake release sound for these, the M3s and the M3As. See if I can get that again here. My guy, that sounds good. Okay. Alright, we got some nice things here. Alright, let's give her a little juiceage. Alright, so it's just, you know, all the I've seen cab ride videos of M3s and M7s and 8s, like, a lot. You know, I'm not super into commuter stuff, but I've still seen a ton of cab ride stuff. And they typically sound like this interior-wise. It's just fans. So that's all you hear. So it's kind of hard to critique sounds like that. Now, there are, depending on the unit and how old it is, how it's been treated, if it's been in any, you know, scuffles or whatever, there are rattles and things like that. But we'll see once we get up to speed here. Now, I'm not getting anything here on ATC. I don't know if it's because we're in Hillside. We need to get on the main. We'll go over 10 and see what it does. Yeah, I mean, it says, there we go. Okay, so that does work. Okay, so it doesn't have to be like a scenario-based scripture to do this. All right, I'll go ahead and cut this out, and we'll cut back to when we're at speed out of the yard. All right, so we're still not quite, I think we're on some of the running lines, but we're technically out of the yard now. But ATC has come alive, which is why I brought us back here already. So you can see it is lit, says 15, although track speed says 20. We are limited to 15, so we'll go ahead and give her a little juice again. Ooh. Yeah, those slot car physics aren't super hot. Notch 1 is cool. But when you go to Notch 2, watch it just lurch forward real quick. That's like It's just, it's not good. It's not good. I mean, come on. Look at that. A boing! It's, you know, these things are powerful for what they are, yes. But that's a bit much, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Alright, let's try and listen to some sounds here. Alright, so for the sake of trying to listen to this thing, it's clear that ATC and ACSES and all that mostly works as it should. We are going to, well, let's check other things out real quick here. Wipers. So it looks like there's just one speed. Animation looks fairly nice. And when you hit it again, they turn off where they lay. Let's see, what else am I forgetting? Am I forgetting anything? Alright, let's see. So the quick commands to disable ATC and all that are as follows. So it says Control Shift Enter will cut in or out ATC. Alright, that's done. Left Alt Shift Enter will cut in or out Advanced Civil Speed Enforcement System, or ACSES. So let's see, Left Alt Shift Enter. There we go. So that is disabled. And then last but not least, Control plus Numpad Enter will cut out the Vigilance device, which is off by default. So let's see if it turns on. So Control plus Numpad Enter. There we go. Vigilance is enabled. So we'll give it a second and see if it actually works here. The Vigilance. Should be what, like 20 seconds, something like that, I think. There it is. And anything you do will generally stop it. But that is really quiet. That bell sound is really quiet. That thing's pretty damn loud in real life. So I don't know why that's so quiet. Okay, let's turn that back off. And let's boogie. Let's just listen to this thing. Alright, so that's notch 1. Run sounds are okay. Sounds scrapey. Got a little flange noise. That sounds okay. That's passable for me. You hear a little clickety-clacking in there. I gotta keep hitting tab, make sure I've got the road here. Alright, notch 2. We're gonna speed through Jamaica. The exterior horn sounds really nice, you know, minus the Doppler. Yeah, I wish the interior sounded that good. You know, personally, I would rather an interior horn sound better than the exterior. But, you know, some people like to play it like it's a model railroad set, so I can see why they do that. There's notch 3, or power 3. I'm not hearing anything in lieu of, like, traction sounds. There's notch 4. Yeah, so there's no like traction sounds at all. It's just run sound and fans. I mean, again, to be fair, they're not super loud, realistically, but they are there. Alright, we'll start braking and see how the brakes do. Wow, that's a minimum reduction, and look how quick it's dropping. The physics on this thing are not good. I'm not happy with the physics, braking or acceleration. I think the physics with the M3 in Train Sim World was better than this, and that's, you know, that's a hard thing to say. But look at this. This is like a full service application. It had a nice little squeal there, braking all the way, or coming to a stop. Now let's see if there's any ambience difference with window opener closed. Absolutely none, so that stinks. What'd I do? The heck? Why did it, why the hell did it do that? Oh, man. I am not going to edit this because A, I hate editing, and B, it's hilarious. Yeah, these aren't electrified lines here, which is odd that they're not. Where the hell are we at? Cheese and crackers. Yeah, not electrified. So that makes total sense, I guess. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this thing and I'm terrified to do it in a scenario. All right, guys, here we are. This is the second scenario that you can choose from, and look at this frame rate Sunny Jim. Wow. I love getting nauseous playing a simulator because the frames are so bad. This is what you're going to get, guys. Unless they fix it, which, you know, they've said that they kind of know what's wrong and they intend to fix it. But, you know, it's like, hey, let's put out a new product first and make some money. You know, it's almost, while it does carry Dovetail's name for the product, it's definitely a Dovetail thing. You know, why fix something? Just make something else, make more money. Yeah, the frames are absolute shit. This is unacceptable. Now, of course, we all know, I've got it in the top right there. It says 14 FPS. That's just a bare minimum that the game design says that you have as a bare minimum of frames. We know that's total BS. I'm probably getting like 5 to 6 FPS right now, realistically. This is not playable. This is not playable. So we're, let's see, West Side Yard. Oh my God, even the map, dude. Okay, so this is one of the scenarios. I'm not even gonna go forward here. So we'll take a look at the other one. Alright, this is the first scenario, and we're at Hempstead. 14 FPS it reads. This is still shit. It's absolute shit, and it's unacceptable. And there we go with all the markers starting on, which is just a crappy script thing, I guess. But of course, if you look behind where there are not trains, it's okay. So again, this is something to do with the scripting. And look at that. So this, like, the angle we're facing right now, that's Jamaica over there somewhere. That way. This is We're looking west here, obviously, and then that's east, where there's no trains. Smooth, and then not. I can already tell I don't need to test this scenario, because look at this. It's a stutterfest. I'm not even going to try the third scenario, because most likely it's going to suck. Okay? We will, for what it's worth, load in a quick drive and see what happens. Alright, this is a quick drive. I loaded in a 6-car from Hicksville to Long Island City or something like this. And dare I say it's worse. Oh my god. What on earth? This is a quick drive. How in the hell? Let's try the whole light theory. I've heard the headlight theory kicked around quite a bit. Alright, so the headlights are off. Looking straight ahead. It did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Everything's off. Whee! Let's see. Okay, so how many trains do we have here? Oh my god. Not many. Not many. Maybe 4 or 5? Holy crap, Batman. Here's one pulling in. Look at this, man. Oh, that's why. It's an M7. So, I wonder, could we just get all the M7s removed and replace those freaking headlight flares? Just get all the M7s removed and replaced with the M3. Even then, something tells me that it still wouldn't be a smooth experience. But look at it. You face this way where there's no trains. It's okay. This is one of those weird situations, right? This thing is a nice model. Some of the sounds are good. Some of the sounds are lacking. You know, the alerter bell's super quiet. There's no occlusion with windows open or closed. There's no occlusion with the sound of the horn exterior-wise. It's loud as hell from 200 feet away, and then you can't hear anything from 200.2 inches. You know, it just goes silent. There's no traction motor sound, but there are some positives. The horn sound is good. The brake sounds good. Brake release sounds good. The fan sounds are good. The run sounds, the joints, the flange squeal, track, all that sounds pretty good. It's a good looking product. Minus some of the things like the lenses. Just there's not even any lenses there. They're just void of lenses. Some of the parts look very low res. The cabin doesn't look that great. The cab itself looks okay. It's passable, but the exterior seems to work. Safety systems, ATC, all that good stuff seems to work. Overall, this is a very acceptable product. But the problem is where you got to run this thing. Long Island Railroad, it's a total shit show. I don't know who can play with these frames. And I kind of feel like they owe it to us to actually patch Long Island Railroad and try to fix it. Because, and yes, I'm still very butthurt about this. This is a great map. This map looks incredible. This is probably the best sold for sale, commuter route for North America in Train Simulator. Hands down. But when it runs this poorly, it's, for me anyway, it's useless. You cannot do anything with it, even if you just do a free roam with one train on the whole map, which is, let's be honest, kind of stupid. You get a little better frames, but it's kind of pointless. So they need to fix this map. Please fix it. So right now, I don't know if I could recommend it because yes, it's a nice product, but where the hell are you going to use it? With frames like that, it's I don't know. But there's a lot of Northeast foamers out there that are just, they could be on a 6-week vacation in Greece, and they see this thing come online and they're like, oh, and they buy it right away, because there's a whole group of people that are just, gonna do that. But, pragmatics, I don't know. Maybe wait for a sale, or if they actually ever update the Long Island Railroad, then sure, go for it. But it's nice to have, 2 different models anyway, the M7 and the M3. But the route just runs terrible. And, again, to digress a bit more, I remember when some of the developers, came on a few public forums and were like, oh, it runs fine for me. That's total bullshit, okay? And nobody's buying it. Maybe if you drop your aliasing settings all the way down to, like, non-existent, sure. Or maybe, like I said, if you're just playing it on a free roam with only 1 or 2 trains on the map, sure. But that kind of defeats the purpose of playing. I know a lot of people don't have, modern machines and all that, and I feel terrible for those that may want this, because good luck not burning your computer to a heap of ashes, because it's crap. Please fix the scripting with the M7s. Do whatever you need to do. I feel like that should have been first and foremost over releasing a new product, but it do be like that. That's it, guys. M3 Long Island Railroad. It's nice, but where are you gonna run it? See you next time.